Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on the upcoming DC Universe coming our way. So, as we all know, we have the start of James Gunn's, well, as I said, upcoming DC Universe later on this year in the form of Creature Commandos in December on HBO Max, or Max, the home of HBO. Of course, this is an animated TV series, a bit of an unorthodox way to kick off a universe that will have its main stuff in the films for the most part. But James Gunn has stated that his universe officially, I guess in regards to, you don't want to be, a bit rude, but important stuff, it starts in Superman, releasing in the middle of next year, so under a year from now. I guess Creature Commandos is almost like a prelude of sorts to the DC Universe coming our way. It wouldn't surprise me coming up to it coming out, so maybe in like October, November, it's really advertised as that. Especially because we're going to meet a character like Rick Flag Sr. in that show, in the animated premiere, but he's going to be in Superman as well as Peacemaker Season 2 and maybe some of the other characters in there as well. But of course, we know we have a decent amount of projects coming our way. Of course, some have had like no news really about them since being announced the beginning of last year, which I've seen there's a concern there for some, but when you are starting something new like this new universe, you just have to let it build and just be patient. But in regards to the movie side of things, we of course know we have the previously mentioned Superman film, followed by Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which is starting to get its pre-production stuff rolling along, with other projects like The Authority, Swamp Thing, and Batman Brave and the Bold also being worked on behind the scenes, with The Authority rumored to actually be what James Gunn will be taking on as writer and director after he's done with Superman. That's not confirmed, that's just a rumor. But I guess that would make sense seeing that some of the characters from The Authority are going to be in Superman, so I guess it'd feel like a natural progression that he would carry on that story. But there has been talk that certain characters that had a major presence in the previous DCEU universe, well, that's weird because it's the U is universe and DCEU, so just the DCEU and their own films. Sometimes they got two films, like Aquaman, Shazam, Wonder Woman as well. They will not get solo films in this upcoming DC universe, some of those characters that were major characters. It is important to remember that James has said his planned universe is for the next 8 to 10 years roughly. I don't know if 10 years was necessarily starting in 2023 when he announced all those projects, but then again, I guess 8 years would be the mark from when Superman comes out. So I don't know if that's the range there, or maybe he was just giving himself some slack, 8 to 10 years in case there's delays or whatever it might be. With it being presumed that he's going to step away after that 8 to 10 years, as he will almost be 70 at that point. So you'd expect, okay, well, he would do that 8 to 10 years, and then he'll have a nice however many years of retirement. So in that time frame of 8 to 10 years, where there'll probably only be, I'd say on average 2 movies a year, but some years would probably have 3 movies a year, but I'd say most of those years they will probably have 2. That including team-up films as well as just group films like The Authority and Teen Titans. There isn't necessarily a lot of room there for everyone to get a film. There's a lot of big characters in DC, and you're seeing like a character, or a group or whatever it is, like The Authority getting a film where no one would even have thought of them. So obviously James Gunn is going at this universe in a different way than not just how many would expect, but also how many would do it themselves. Now, a character that did seem mentioned as not getting a film is Shazam, or Captain Marvel, whatever you want to call him. Of course, Shazam as a character got 2 films in the DCEU, the first doing decent based off its budget, and the second, not so much. But another character that is thrown around as not getting a solo film is that of the Flash. And I guess I shouldn't say character for the Flash, but just the mantle of the Flash, because it could be a couple of different individual characters as the Flash. Now, I guess the silver lining to this, if there really is one, because you'd really want a Flash movie, I guess, is that it's not like the character will not be used. It's just the character or mantle of characters will just not get a solo film or films, but will just appear in other films. So an example would be like Hawkgirl, for example. She is appearing in Superman alongside Guy Gardner's Green Lantern, Metamorpho, Mr. Terrific, and of course Superman, the lead character, who is getting a solo film. But that character of Hawkgirl probably won't get a solo film herself. And even a character like Mr. Terrific could lead another movie with a spin-off like The Terrifics, but it's not his solo movie. It's him bleeding into another group project. But should there be concern that a major character like the Flash, who I think not even arguably is the 4th biggest hero in the DC universe, not character because obviously there's someone like the Joker, for example, but at least hero in the DC universe, they are the 4th biggest after Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Is there a concern that they might not be getting a solo film in this upcoming DC universe, which needs, a lot of draw cards essentially to get some attention there? And even going back to Wonder Woman, because I mentioned them, reminder that she doesn't have a set solo film either, like Superman and Batman do in this new universe, but it is still early days, and we do know we're getting a prequel series set on Themyscira, and that series might lead into whatever they want to do with Wonder Woman going forward in this universe. But back to the Flash, because that's what the video is about. Could the character of the Flash work and appease fans in this new universe without a solo film? And I personally think the answer is maybe. And you might be like, what the hell? Just pick yes or no, you idiot. But it's a maybe because it depends on who the specific mantle holder of the Flash is within this new DC Universe reboot. The two main characters or contenders that would hold the mantle, of course, that of Barry Allen and Wally West. I think if the character holding the Flash mantle in this new universe is that of Wally West, then yeah, you probably don't lose a major amount of stuff by not having him be in a solo film and just have him appear as the Flash in various other projects, whether that is other heroes solo films, like appearing in, I don't know, Batman Brave and the Bold or whatever it is, or in group films like a Justice League or whatever they might be. But if the mantle holder is Barry Allen, I do think you miss some major chances for cool things to develop with not just Barry Allen, but the Flash family and the Flash lore as a whole. With Barry Allen having a solo film for his character of the Flash, like we're getting with Superman, Batman, and even a character like Swamp Thing, you not only miss out on some foundational stuff with Flash lore, with the character of Barry Allen, and just the whole world around that, including villains and stuff like that, but it's also a missed opportunity to build out that Flash family with a younger version of Wally West, most likely Kid Flash at the time, and potentially a part of that Teen Titan crew, which we know has a movie in development, and then of course a possible relation with Jay Garrick. Then of course there's someone like Iris West, which Barry has a relationship with, which then ties into Wally West and ties them two together through various events. I think playing this all out in a Flash film not only allows for better development across the board, but even helps a character like Wally West a lot and just show how he improves. And also, even like hypothetically, if Barry dies, the responsibility that Wally then has to take on after that. But speaking of that, like the whole death thing, I also don't like the idea that Barry Allen has come and gone if Wally West just holds the mantle and probably just died at this stage in the universe wherever we pick up. If Wally West is just running around holding the mantle of the Flash, like you don't hold a lot of like the weight around Wally's responsibility of holding that mantle. And yeah, you might be like, well, you're biased. And yeah, I'm very biased because I prefer Barry over Wally. But knowing my luck, it would be the only case of a mantle holder being dead and killed before the universe even happened, just so another character can hold the mantle for whatever reason that is. But as I said, if we are not getting a Flash solo project, I actually do think Wally there is probably a better choice, funnily enough, just because of the flexibility of the character when it comes to interacting with other characters and how you want to portray him. You can make him a bit younger, where he has been thrust into this mantle sooner than he probably should have been due to whatever would have happened to Barry, or you can even play him a bit older, maybe around the age that Barry would normally be the Flash, and maybe Wally's a bit more experienced and learned to take on that responsibility of holding the mantle, so maybe he's around really late 20s or even past 30, but not too old, like 31, 32 or something. Now, of course, there was a rumor, I think it was late last year, might have been early this year, I can't remember exactly, but that was around the rumor being that a Flash-related series was in the works for this new DC Universe reboot, but this was a series based around the Rogues, not the Flash, but the Rogues, but set in Central City. And you would assume in this series, if it happened, there would be a presence of the Flash, but maybe in like an antagonizing manner within Central City. Though if it's Wally, would it be Keystone? I don't know. Maybe they just do Central just because it's more recognizable. I don't know. But even within this hypothetical, rumored series, you wouldn't have to confirm who the Flash mantle holder is, because it's not like the Flash would stop Captain Cold, for example, and go, "Ha! You have been stopped by me, the Flash. Oh, by the way, my name's Wally West. Oh, shouldn't have told you that." Like, of course, that's not going to happen. That wouldn't happen at all. That'd be stupid. But of course, elephant in the room with all this, there of course could be a Flash movie plan floating around somewhere in James Gunn's office, whether it's a little asterisk on a whiteboard or just something that he's written down in an email or even like a sketchbook that he has. There could be that little thing floating around there where it's like, I have plans for that, but not in the next couple of years. And like a major reason for that, we don't want to touch this for a couple of years, is that maybe they want to spread some room between projects around characters like the Flash or even Shazam or even Aquaman within this new universe, as they were in films or had films that released in the final year of the DCEU, and none of them made money. But of course, James Gunn will be looking at them like, hey, these are characters that have potential, because, I mean, look, he's making a movie like The Authority. So 99% of people would have seen that movie and gone, that's going to flop. But James Gunn is probably like, hey, I think I can make that work and make people care about these characters and want to go see the film. So maybe just like this whole thing is just about giving some breathing room before they are touched again. But easily those characters could just appear in this new universe and not get standalone projects and just be in movies like Justice League or JSA or whatever it might be. Now, I personally hope The Flash, just as a mantle, but more specifically Barry Allen, does get a solo-focused project, just because there are so many cool things to do in a solo film that don't involve crazy multiverse time travel stuff. Though I do love that stuff, The Flash, especially Barry Allen, is just a normal dude who got powers. So a fun movie to fit that is something I would love to see, especially in the tone that we seem to be getting in this upcoming universe. So fingers crossed we hear something, well, you'd say sooner rather than later, but just eventually, that's set within this world. But then again, it is a condensed world with a set end based off what James Gunn is saying, at least in regards to his tenure. So we'll just have to wait and see. But this goes with a couple of other characters that haven't got projects announced either. So I'm sure there's fans of other characters that are sitting there going, when am I getting this thing? But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like and to show your support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various thoughts and everything we went over in this video. Always curious to read what you guys are thinking. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.